Dean, can you tell us a bit about how this festival came into being?
Sure, it started as the original name A Night of Horror suggests as a one-night event. That was our plan anyway. We wanted to do a night of short films, just maybe 12 or 16, but we got flooded with submissions of short films from all around the world. And we felt disingenuous doing just one session, so we ended up even the first year expanding to really 3 nights of horror, but we got stuck with the name, A Night of Horror. And so from there on we grew year by year and we started taking features and it became a week of horror and then 10, 11 days of horror, and that's kind of where we are now. But we're combined with Fantastic Planet Film Festival as well, which is fantastic because it gives you a broader throw in the fantastic genre. So we can play sci-fi, fantasy, horror, strange cult, buddy, comedy, caper, reality TV, mockumentaries like Wet and Reckless.
That's sci-fi.
Well, kind of. Yeah, well, some of it seems like almost real, though. I know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
How did you guys source the films originally, and has the process gotten easier?
I mean, the process, I suppose when we started, we didn't know about sourcing films, so we just had an open submission policy, and we were just a short film festival. But now what we try to do with the fest, we keep half of the feature slots open for submissions. So people who submit films to us have those slots for them. And then I go out and look for the movies that I'm interested in for the other 50% of the slots. So a film like Sinister in the festival this year, I've obviously sourced. All Superheroes Must Die. I've been chasing these guys for about 2 years to get that film. I literally had been. I've been begging him. Wet and Reckless is the same. Their other film I sourced, and so
I think it was actually more of a "you better play Wet and Reckless, or else we're not coming." Like that was our bartering chip.
Yeah, they might have held that over me, and then they took some photos the other night, so now they have all kinds of bartering chips over me. So I'll be playing their films forever now. I'm doomed.
Yeah, you're stuck. It's gonna be a month of horror, and we're done.
And like to contact them, did you have to go through their agencies? Was it a difficult process? Or?
Well, it depends who has the film at the time. So, for example, I think you were involved in trying to find an Australian distributor for All Superheroes.
Yeah.
So I could go directly through them at the time. But it depends at the time. I mean, and luckily, I think we had mutual friends on Facebook in the festival world, and I went, there's Jason Trost. He won't reply to my emails. I'm going to hunt him down on Facebook. So that's how I did it.
I'm bad with emails.
Yeah.
You gotta hit me on Facebook.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges of the festival to get this up?
I suppose, well, there's a bunch of administrational challenges which are annoying. And you've got to source sponsors. We have wonderful sponsors this year. I couldn't be happier with my Howling Wolves wine sponsor. King's Comics, who sponsored these guys. Sci-Fi Channel, Better Red Than Dead, Monster Pictures. There's so many I can't even list them all here. But you do have to spend a lot of time sourcing those sponsors.
Just make sure if you're ever going to a film festival, you know where the red carpet is.
Absolutely. And that's where the drinks will be at the end of it as well. The other hard thing, though, in Australia is we have a government body called the Australian Classification Board. So every film I screen, just about, somebody has to write a detailed classification report for, actually talking about every single classifiable element in the film. And the report we submitted this year was 30,000 words long. That's longer than the master's thesis I wrote. And we still got a film banned. Yeah, a short film called Morgue Street. Yeah, I know.
That's a shame.
It ain't a free country here in Australia. See, you guys are from the land of the free. Here we think we're free, but then you have all of these other things imposing on us. If anybody's watching, they need to complain about censorship in this country. It needs to stop.
We may be free, but we're not appreciated.
Now, Dean,
So you guys get the benefits without the disadvantages.
Dean, finally, tell us about the future of this festival. What do you have in store? What do you hope to achieve?
A Night of Horror, the sequel.
There you go. I think it'll get progressively bigger. I would like to continue to spread out the fantastic, I suppose the broader fantastic genres which we were looking at now. So we will play more films like Wet and Reckless, which aren't obviously necessarily horror or sci-fi or fantasy, but they roll into action or other genres as well. But we'll always stay true to the sci-fi and horror and fantasy roots. But just to get bigger, like a festival like a Fantasia overseas or a Fantastic Fest, which doesn't feel like it has to be within a very tight little box.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again.